one side you'll hear no more deportations and this, and abolish ICE. And like, there's value in having these conversations, but there's also...
It's not where most people are.
Yeah, it's not, exactly.
Most people are where you and I are, which is have a secure border. If you've been living here for some, period of time, whatever, 10, 15 years, there should be a path to legal status and ultimately a path to citizenship.
The immigration system, and this is what I tell Democrats too, is like, people aren't dumb either. Like, the headline says someone that's been here for 30 years has been detained by ICE and deported. You say, oh, that's fucked up. Trump deported someone who's been here for 30 years. The next question is, hey, Trump hasn't been president for 30 years. Why in these past 30 years has no Democrat, no one, because what Donald Trump was able to do is he inherited a fundamentally flawed and broken immigration system and is able to exploit it. But he was only able to exploit it because past administrations never got the job done on actually, fixing the situation.
So let me press you on that. I mean, you supported Biden. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what the border was like during. How do you answer that to people who might call you out on that online?
Well, so I was very critical of the situation on the border, not so much because of like, I recognize that like there are very good people. I mean, I've met a lot of people who came during the Biden years, but the reality is that when the border is like that, one, it's a risk. I know so many situations of people who drown trying to get here. When you have a mass, it creates issues like that. But then the other aspect of it too is like, the reality is like, and people aren't dumb, there are people that came into the country under Biden that should have never been let into the country in the first place. I mean, like, and it becomes a difficult conversation of like, when you allow essentially kind of so much volume, it's almost impossible to properly vet everyone the way it needs to be done. But then again, that happens because the legal immigration is fundamentally broken, because that's what we talk about securing the border, but you can't secure the border without fixing the legal immigration system. Because if you ask someone, why did you come here illegally? Well, because I couldn't go legally, and we have a vested interest in getting people here legally. I mean, you see it, we need workers. We need people who want to come here. There used to be a time where people would come, work, and then leave, and that's the reality. Not everyone wants to stay here. A lot of people want to come, make their money, and then go back home. Why don't they do that? Because if you go back home, you can never come back, because now you have an immigration. It's like, there's so many little policy things that when you get into like, it just doesn't make sense.
I agree with you. And by the way, I've been saying this for years. For our party, for our country, more importantly, we need to have clear rules on how to enter this country and like a clear path for people who want to come here. Second, you got to have a secure border. And third, you got to say to people who have been living here without committing crimes, without harming others, giving something back. Hey, here's your path to having a legal status. You don't have to live in the shadows. I think that's where our party needs to be. I think that's where most Americans are. And I think we got to get back to it. We've now seen the pendulum shift the exact opposite way, in a really dangerous way under Trump. Hopefully it will settle back in a way that's more reasonable.